This program is brought to you by the Genesis Communications Network, a world leader in talk radio since 1998. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Broadcasting and streaming live all across America. This is Home Talk USA with Michael King, where we will discuss topics pertaining to your home with industry-leading experts. Michael King is a licensed general contractor with more than 30 years of experience in home improvements and the author of Contracting with the King. Join us this hour for our segment Invent America with your co-host, the inventor lady, Rita Crompton. Discover what's next in the home improvement industry and explore new products and innovations. Or if you have that next great big idea, learn what it takes to bring your invention to the world. As Michael King and Rita Crompton talk to America's inventors and innovators. Remember, the America of tomorrow is being invented today. We invite you to visit us at HomeTalkUSA.com, one of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, we proudly present Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun contractor, Michael King, and his co-host, the inventor lady, Rita Crompton.
Yahoo! Welcome to Home Talk USA Radio Network. This is the Invent America segment of our show, part of our Home Talk USA family. We want to welcome all of you across the nation. It's all about education and information. That's what we do here each week and every week. And now I'd like to welcome my sidekick and co-host. They call her the inventor lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton. Rita, how you doing?
I am fine, Michael. It is so good to be here with everybody.
Well, you know what me and you have in common now? You know what?
What's that?
Number one, you live out in the mountains. And number two, I am in the mountains. I'm in the Ozark Mountains in Brantford, Missouri right now. I'm at the Little League World Series that started this week. My grandson is actually playing and participating, and so after this segment, I'm going to have to run out here. I'm gonna have to bail out on you, Rita. Can you handle it?
Oh no, we will do our best. It'll never be as good, but we will do our best.
We have a great audience, and they are really good, and they've been with me for well over 20 years. So. We're excited. But, hey, this is episode number 1039, Rita, and we're excited. We got that big countdown, of being the most longest running home improvement self-help show in the country. You know that?
That is wonderful. It's a pleasure and an honor to be part of that.
Well, good. Well, we got a lot of information. We got a great show, and but hey, I got some exciting announcement. People don't realize the money it costs us to produce a national radio show. It's astonishing. And when you came aboard, it kind of, you came on as a guest and you didn't realize till you got involved to say, whoa, it's a lot of planning to put a show together. It really is. And we need sponsors. And, we don't charge for interviews here. We're not a pay-to-play network. And we're proud to say right now that the Invent America show has our first sponsor of the show itself, Kicker Design, LLC, right? Addison Shelton, right?
That's right, and we're so glad to bring them on. And it's amazing how often inventors say, "I need some help with a prototype," and that's what Kicker Design does. Is that they take that unique positioning. A lot of the inventors now, they've done their first prototype, but now they need what we refer to as the manufacturer's prototype. So Kicker Design can actually work you through. Here, I've got some drawings on note paper, all the way through then to the manufacturer's prototype, and help you get teed up for the manufacturing part of it. So they're a wonderful go-to company. And if they can't do it, they generally know somebody who can and say, okay, talk to these guys over here because they're better at using this kind of material. And Addison has been wonderful. We've got some videos now with Addison where he was a guest, and we are real excited to bring them on board.
When we signed the contract was a couple of days ago, so we're going to get them up on your website, right, at the Invent America website, right?
Absolutely, inventamerica.info. And Addison's logo will be up there, and their contact information, and a direct link then to their website. So any of the inventors out there can get a hold of them. And, it was exciting. Over the weekend, I had a lady fill out one of our forms and email me through the website, and she just said, "Oh, my God, I love listening to this show. By the way, how do I get one of those TrueView mirrors for my truck?"
Well, that's what it's all about, education, information, and we definitely want to thank Addison Shelton because, let's face it, helping to patronize all our great sponsors basically keeps the show on the air because we need the sponsors, and we don't charge to be on the show, as you know, and it's a free service. But Kicker Design and Addison liked. I think they came on just as a regular guest, so they loved the show so much. They said, "Man, I want to support you." And, of course, if anybody out there wants to help us keep this show on the air and keeps the Invent America show, let me correct that, to keep the Invent America show on the air, and you want to help us out, how can they contact you, Rita?
Well, it's really easy, Rita at inventorlady.com. My phone number is everywhere. I answer my phone. Somebody said, "Why you're answering your phone?" I said, "It's because you're calling me." And so I answered the phone. And it's like, "But it's Sunday afternoon." And it's like, "Well, then it's a good time for me to answer some questions." So, we had a good conversation. I was actually the speaker in Orange County Friday night. Wow. It was 10 o'clock at night for me here. But I went and we talked about the radio show. I had people filling out the form before we got done with the meeting at 11:30 p.m. my time, and I was looking forward to crawling into bed. So, we are reaching people. We are helping to make a difference. And this, the topic for today is there's just not enough time. And we've not figured out a way to either back up the clock to redo something or to invent more time. And when it comes to inventing, Michael, time can really bite you from two different angles or multiple angles. And the first one is that if the inventor is seeing, a solution to a problem, they've got to assume that somebody else is seeing a solution to the problem. And a lot of times it is the first to file. Yep. The U.S. went to first to file in 2013 instead of first to invent. And so it did become a race to file. Wow. And I get a lot of inventors that say, we got back a search that said somebody filed a week before we did.
Yeah. Well, in the Home Talk show in the first hour, we had a guy named Brian Alexander. He is with Brevin Brothers. They came up with this time lock dual shutoff valve for toilets. And the reason why I mention that, it took him 12 years to get this product to market. And after about 5 years, they got a thing called cost per point for the product. And actually, when they finally got it to market and they came up with that price point, the price point was so expensive that they had to just tear it all up and start it all over again. So, again, it is a process here,
It is, and filing the patent, so you can say we're patent pending, is just one part of the time issue. The next part of the time issue is getting the product developed at a price the consumer will pay for it, and then the next timing issue is being able to the time it sucks from you as the inventor. It almost makes it impossible to live, a family life because everything you do, every 24/7 is about the product.
Whole bunch of factors. Got to bring down that price point that the consumer wants to pay. Then you have insurance factors. There's a whole bunch of factors involved here. Well, Rita, I'm going to take a short break, and we're going to come back with our first guest, our first topic on the Invent America show. I am the Cajun man from the Bayou Land, along with my co-host, the inventor lady herself, Rita Crompton. We invite you to check out our websites at HomeTalkUSA.com and InventorLady. It's InventorLady.com, Rita?
Yes, it is. InventorLady.com.
InventorLady.com. So check out the website. We're going to come back with our first guest, our first topic. Make sure we are streaming live on the World Wide Web at the Genesis Communication Radio Network at GCNlive.com. I'm the Cajun man from the Bayou Land. I'll be right back with Rita Crompton. Don't go nowhere. Yay!
to Home Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com, one of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
Hello, everybody. My name is Rita Crompton, also known as the Inventor Lady, and your host for this segment. Our guest is George Peters. He is the inventor of KettlePizza, and he had a couple of other things, so he was not new to this. And he and his partner, Al Contarino, you can say that again, George, get it right.
Yeah, Contarino, perfect.
Invented KettlePizza in 2010, ended up being able to represent Massachusetts for the Made in America. You got to go to the White House. But from the let's do this idea to getting it to the White House, you had some issues as far as managing the time suck that an invention takes. And I think a lot of inventors, when they go into startup mode, don't realize how much time it can take and that you start living the invention. You know, we always laugh and say, a good invention is like a child. You conceive it, you nurture it, it sucks you dry, and you send it out the door to grow up and take care of itself. Tell us a little bit about KettlePizza, specifically what it does, and then the challenge of managing time.
Rita, thank you very much for your time today. KettlePizza was the brainchild of Al Contarino. He called me one day, and he says, I have this idea to cook pizza on a grill. And shortly thereafter, we started making KettlePizza. KettlePizza turns a charcoal grill or a gas grill into a pizza oven. And when we started that, we started working in his workshop next to his barn, and I was working full-time at that time, and then would go afternoons and weekends to the workshop to work on the new project that we had. And slowly, it took about a year before we came to market regularly. And then we were in all the big retailers that you could name. But in between that, the time that you spend away from your family, whether you're working on your project, whether you're going to a trade show, whether you're trying to raise money, whether you're trying to talk to future retailers, is everything that it's... if you're not sleeping, you're working on your product. And I know for my earlier products, when I got started, what a time away from my family, who was young at the time. I should have been spending time with them. I was working on my earlier products. So it is. It's an all-in proposition when you come up with an idea and want to see if one day you can profit from it.
Yeah, it can really, you can't get the time back. You can regret it later, but you don't get to rewind that and turn your kids back to being 10 again. And so learning that balance, and I think for our listeners, hearing what you have to say makes them take a step back and say, okay, do we really want to go into this as a startup, or do we tee it up and license it?
Well, certainly back in the day when my first patent, I should have known something was going on with my time reader when your patent is awarded on April Fool's Day, as mine was, April 1st, 2003. So I should have been known I was in for a wild ride from there. So certainly,
there you go.
I knew very early on that when I wasn't sleeping, I was working on my product. And when I should have been at birthday parties or games or things like that, I was working on my product because I thought that was the way to be able to one day maybe supply a little bit more security for my family. But the security actually that they were looking for was my attention and time, which I can never give them back. And I do regret it to this day.
Yeah. So what advice can you give to our listeners today?
As everybody hears that kind of magic word now is balance. Take the time for yourself. Take your time for your family. Go and see a ball game with them. Take some vacation time away. I think looking back on it, I think it certainly has helped me as I've gotten older to put things aside sometimes and go and do something different, because you'll come back fresh. You come back with fresh ideas. You might meet some people while you're out doing something and not thinking about anything, and then you just write it down. But concentrate on your family, because you will never get that back, and they will appreciate it more, and they will be more apt to be in your corner when your product starts to take off to help you if you find that right balance in with your family time as compared to working on your idea.
All right, so somebody wants a Kettle Pizza. Where do they go to buy one?
KettlePizza.com. We've sold them in 70 countries, and as I said, they turn charcoal and gas grills into pizza ovens.
Excellent. Well, we'll make sure that we get it up on our website, and we will talk to you later, George. Thank you, everybody, for listening. InventAmerica.info. If you want to be on the show, that's where you go to find the applications. Join us. Thanks, everybody.